Hi, my name is Kimberly from Zeeman Development. Today I want to show you how you can customise your lookup in Chimpegration to make sure that you're never creating a duplicate record in Razor's Edge. So when you're using both the import and synchronization functions of Chimpegration, we can look for existing records on Razor's Edge so we can update those or create a new one if they don't exist already. And in the settings area, we can determine what constitutes a match. So let's go to the settings area. We go to the Lookup tab. And here we can see all the options for finding existing records. Now we've got some default options here. So we match on both constituent ID and email already, but we've then got a number of other options for you to look up existing records in Razor's Edge. And we can set these criteria up both for constituent records and for individual relationship records, and they can be completely different. So you can make sure that this suits your data and for both constituents and relationship records. So let's take a look at this constituent set. As I say, I've got my constituent ID, which we'll look up first, then our email address, and then we'll look up by my custom criteria. So let's open this up and we can see all the different fields that are available to look up on. So you can see in the biographical area, we can look up on gender, title, name, suffix, aliases, spouse, date of birth. Now, some of these fields aren't available. Obviously, you can only use the fields that are available during the synchronization process, but all of these have a few different options as well. So you can see on the first name, I've selected all in the number of characters. You could also select soundex, which means names that sound the same but are spelt differently. And we can select, we could just match on a certain number of characters. We can also check first name equivalent. So that's things like Rob, would also match with Rob, Bobby, Bob, all of those kinds of things. And we could choose first initial as well. And I'm also matching here on surname. So this is going to be looked up in order of, does it have a constituent ID? Does it have an email address that matches? And if not, let's look up the first and the surname as well. We can also look up on address lines. And once again, we've got address line equivalents here. So that's things like avenue, AV dot and AVE. We've got the city, the county or state or territory, and then the postcode or zip, as well as the email and telephone numbers. Now, bear in mind, the fields that you use here will obviously depend on what data you're collecting in your MailChimp sign-up form and what you're allowing people to update. But whatever information you are collecting, you can then use to look up those records in Razor's Edge. So once you've set your criteria sets up, these are then saved and they'll be used to look up your constituents when you're using Chimpegration. Now, if you still can't find an exact match and there are multiple matches, this will still create an error in your control report and you can review it from there. But hopefully this will make your updating of existing records much more accurate and ensure that you're never creating a duplicate in Razor's Edge ever again. I hope that's useful. Thanks for listening.